I tell y'all what's on my mind?
We gon' watch the party die.
Can I get a couple of things off my chest?
We gon' watch the party die. I wonder what the crate would do. Wise up. It's your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, but I can't be your son. It's your kinfolk, William Jewell. L. Giving you my deep tell as I'm articulate. This is articulating. Right. How y'all doing? If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn the notification on so you can get all the new posts, all the new content when I give it to you, because I'm going to give it to you. Right, I'm going to give you that pelvic thrust. I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to stand on business. I'm going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you. You want G shit? You want G shit? Well, I'm going to give it to you. But, man, it's been a crazy week, and it's been a week about hip-hop. It's been a week, another moment reliving the Drake and Kendrick beef, another moment reliving the Super Bowl halftime choice. Who should perform, Kendrick or Lil Wayne? Another moment in time. Drake turned down 2 chances to perform at the Super Bowl. Another moment in time as big as the what? Right? So it's so many things to discuss. There's so many nails to hit on the head. There's so many topics to have conversations about. And I'm just trying to give y'all my knowledge, give y'all my opinion on the hip hop, because, it's just so much things going on. But first, I got to say happy birthday to my tea lady. She turned 61 September 14th. This the 15th. So we had a nice little dinner. Right, we had a nice little dinner at this Italian steakhouse. Went and got some ice cream later. But just a good time with family. My son, my wife, my brother, his fiance. Just a good time with family, because, family is all you got. Family is all you have, and you got to cherish them. Man, R.I.P. Carolyn Johnson. I think about her all the time. I think about my partner, JJ. I think about him losing his tea lady, and I just think about my tea lady, and I have to cherish and I have to appreciate those moments that we have together. So if you got a mother out there, if you got a loved one out there, make sure you show her that love. Make sure you show her that appreciation. Just a gesture will do. Right? And because my mama, she's not picky. She's not hard to please. Just as long as you show the effort, just as long as you show the thought, that's all it takes to make her feel appreciated, to make her feel, good about how she did raising her children. And you did a damn good job. You made a lot of sacrifices. And I've been making a lot of sacrifices with my time too, because I've been giving y'all my motherfucking time. Right, with this articulating rap shit. And, I love it because I like to talk about this. I really study hip hop. I really study what's going on in the culture. And I really studied that Kendrick Lamar verse. I really studied him talking about watch the party die. I really studied the subliminals. I really studied the structure. I really studied the production. I really took a look at it and examined it underneath a microscope. I really played it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's important that we give our due diligence to these type of things. Right? It's important that we talk about these things. And watch the party die. When I think about that song, that the Black Air Forces, the Black Air Force energy, those raggedy Black Air Forces. I had some Black Air Forces in the ninth grade. I had some low tops in my senior year. I'm a fan of Black Air Forces. I'm a owner or former owner of Black Air Forces, because you gonna put a lot of mileage on them. You're going to put a lot of wear and tear on them, because that all black is something about all black that is different from all white. That's why I never get the all white forces. It's something about the all black. because you can take it through the mud. You can take it through those trials and tribulations. You can take it through, the streets. You can take it through the grass. You can take it through the courts. You can take it through the gym. You can take it through the concrete. You can just take it through a lot of things and it can still be solid and it can still uphold itself. Right? But when you get that wear and tear, when you wear it down, you really been doing the fool. You really been doing what it takes to make it look mashed up, to make it look mushed, to make it look wrinkled, to make those creases appear like an old 70-year-old person. Like it takes a lot to get it to that ugly stage. It takes a lot to get it there. And I think Kendrick is saying it took a lot for him to get there, to get to that point. It took some years since Good Kid, Mad City, since Section 8. It took some years since Overly Dedicated to get to this point. He had a lot of wear and tear on his conscience. He had a lot of wear and tear on his soul, because being visible is what makes the spiritual tired. Right, he talked about that, and that's the culmination of the Black Air Forces. That's the symbolism of the Black Air Forces to me, because I know what type of person you gotta be to wear Black Air Forces, and I know what type of things you have to go through to wear them out to that type of extent. And he's been worn out. And when I listen to Watch the Party Die, I think about those hip hop purists. I think about those fans that don't want much, just a simple beat, but they want the lyricism, but they want the message. They want some positivity. They want some reinforcement. They want some encouragement. They want some dialogue of what's going on in the culture. They want to see this point of view, this perspective from a man in this hip hop industry, looking at it from the lens of the people and the lens of the corporate and the streets and the status quo. And as a star, they want what Kendrick Lamar can deliver. And I believe this is for the core. Right? I believe this is for the core hip hop purists. I believe this is for his core fan base that loves what Kendrick Lamar stands for, that loves the man that he represents. Besides what these influencers think about him, I believe he did it for them. Just like academics was saying, Drake was releasing blue, green, red, housekeeping, nose is up, no face, circadian rhythm, right? SOD. Just like academics was saying, Drake was releasing those for his fan base. This is something for Kendrick's core fan base, to let them know he still got us. Because at the end of the day, we need that messaging. At the end of the day, we need that positive reinforcement. At the end of the day, we need our thoughts to be examined. At the end of the day, we need to put the culture under the microscope and look at some of the bacteria. Look at some of these chromosomes that are not connecting in the way that they should. Looking at some of this DNA that is actually intoxicating us. And I believe that's what Kendrick did. This is pure. This is uncut, unadulterated. This is pristine hip hop. Right? And he knows a lot of bitches that are harder than you niggas. You niggas partying more than bitches. Like, he's talking about manhood. He's talking about the femininity. He feels sorry for the choices that these women have out here. I'm a personal trainer. I deal with women on a daily basis. I hear what they have to say about some of these men. I hear what they have to say about what a man did to them. I hear what they have to offer to me in conversation about how these men, present themselves in public, and I don't like it. And I don't represent that standard, and I cannot, allow that to be a reflection of me and what I believe manhood should stand for. Right? The men wearing dresses, the men wearing skirts. Right? The men painting their nails. Right? NLE Chopper, I'm coming out. Niggas like that, right? And Lil Nas X, like a lot of people that are acting like this way to garner attention, right? And that type of attention, we can see a woman acting like that way to garner attention, using her body, using how she dresses to get people's eyes and ears to speak and listen to what they have to say or what they got going on. Like, we see these men, and these men are not upstanding citizens, right? And no disrespect to the gays, right? But this behavior, if you're masquerading as a man, but you want to be feminine, this behavior, we cannot tolerate that, because we need these examples for our kids. Because some of these men have daughters, some of these women have daughters. And we want the men that are taking these daughters up under, shelter, up under their protection, up under their love. We want these men to be able to act and do things in a way that represents a man. So we have to call these things out in the industry, right? We have to call these things out in the corporate. We have to call these people out for, embellishing the image of a junkie, that's embellishing the image of a violence, the drill rap, the cocaine music, right? So, I mean, shit, we got to call it out, and, that's what it is at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, we know this is a part of the culture. But when you fabricate these stories to make yourself look good, and not telling about the consequences of those type of actions, it hurts the youth. And so no matter what people say, at the end of the day, I believe this message was needed. I believe this message was necessary. I don't think this song is a banger for those who are looking for Kendrick Lamar to give us a Not Like Us, for those who are looking for Kendrick Lamar to give us a hit, to give us N95, to give us Humble, to give us something that we could bang our heads to. This is something that we could digest and really receive and really look within, and then from there look outwardly and figure out how to find the solution, right? And that production, it just sound like a violin, just sound like something so classical. And you add that piano, when you add those keys in the mix, just not percussion, not a lot of bass, not any drums, just something to shine a light on the lyricism, something to shine the light on the wordplay, right? And this was meant to be delivering a message, because they took away the theatrics, they took away the drums, they took away the rich sound and left a skeleton, so we could see the bones, so we could see how the body operates without the flesh on it, so we could see a little bit more of the soul. And I think he did that right. And is this a sub to Drake? Because at the end of the day, it can be seen as a sub to Drake. If Drake wants to see this as a sub, it could be a sub to Drake. But at the end of the day, Drake has released 2 3 packs, and he was subbing Kendrick Lamar and the others the whole time. So this is not foul play. This is fair play. And is this a round two, right? Because to be honest, they're calling it Watch the Party Die, but Kendrick Lamar never authorized it to be called anything. He dropped the song and didn't give it a title. He just gave it the Black Air Force picture, the image. But he didn't call it a name. Right? And like I said in one of my videos, it sounds like this could be the Heart Part 6, but since Drake took that, then we don't know what it could be. And usually when he drops a Heart, 2 weeks later he drops an album, and a lot of people are wondering, is this going to be for the album? Is this going to be the promotion, the marketing tool, right, to drop the album? Because I believe him dropping a Lucy like that, I believe there's more crumbs to find. I believe there's more pieces to the puzzle that we haven't put in together. And Kendrick is a master that mastered it. I know everything. I know morality, good and bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick has really gave us that complexity within music and made us want to research and made us want to look at what he's saying and made us want to really dissect and articulate his words. So thank you for that inspiration. But as far as Drake, I mean, they're saying that this is not a diss, and I'm saying they're the media and the same thing. Like we got media heads representing Drake that's saying there is a round two. We got media heads that are saying no, 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 this is not a diss. So at the end of the day, you kind of gotta be aware of what you're taking in and analyze it for yourself because everything that Kendrick said in this mute in this song, you could put Drake name in there and it would reflect him as a person. So regardless if this wasn't a diss, it could be seen as a diss and it will be validated. You know what I'm saying? Because Drake dropped the sub, Kendrick dropped the sub, but subliminals, will it be around too? I think this is I don't know. I think this is the culmination of the end of the battle because Drake had the last word, and I think Kendrick wanted to have the last word. And I think since everybody was on Instagram and X coming to the defense of Lil Wayne because of the Super Bowl, I think that's why Kendrick dropped this. I believe he wanted to say something, right? And this is what he wanted to say. Right, because we know Kendrick is not gonna talk to the reporters, the news anchors. We know he's not gonna talk to the podcasters. We know he's gonna talk through the music, and I believe, like, without calling any real names to the surface, I believe this is what he wanted to say through the music to let everybody know that he hear what they saying about him. And Black Air Force energy means I put in the work. You know, we keep going back to the Wayne Super Bowl thing, right? Kendrick Lamar put in the work, right? And they're saying Wayne didn't put in the work. I was saying, Wayne, you dropped no album. You keep talking about the Carter 6. You've been talking about the Carter 6 since the Carter 5. And if I'm not mistaken, that was in 2017, 2018. Right? But where is this Carter 6? You did the funeral, which was very lackluster, had some good songs on it. But where is that individual project? That's my thing. You said you're going to work hard. You said you're going to do everything that you can, right? To be chosen for the Super Bowl performance. You did features. You did a lot of things on behalf of other artists, but what did you do on behalf of yourself? What did you do on behalf of your media team, getting your face out there? What did you do to get your performances more recognition, to really elevate your performances, to really make it more intriguing, make it more interesting to the public, to the viewer, right? And we can all say that Wayne did not do that, right? And Kendrick was the one that put in the work. And really, it wasn't like he was trying to put in the work. It was like God bestowed this on him. Because he got what he wanted to say off J. Cole and Drake. He got what he wanted to say off his chest. And if they wanted to respond, if they wanted to feel froggy, they could leap. And he was going to leap right back. But he didn't do it knowing that they was going to say something because he said things before and nobody said anything to him. But I think that persona of the boogeyman was getting so big that they was like, he ain't no boogeyman, bro. And they really wanted to test that and see that. But Wayne, he says he's broken. Right, I got a little bit of audio for Wayne. I'm gonna play it. Wayne says he's broken.
Your words turn into arms and held me up when I try to fall back.
It hurt.
Hurt a lot.
It hurt a lot.
You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot.
Hurt a whole lot.
I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown.
Like, that's it. I can't take no more. You blame yourself for not mentally being prepared for a letdown, but did you blame yourself for the lack of work that you put in? And I love Wayne. Wayne is one of my favorite artists. He is my favorite hip hop artist. I grew up on Wayne. Wayne got me through a lot of times. Wayne helped me love hip hop. He was the reason why I'm doing this right now. I was articulating his bars long before I did this podcast. That's why it hurts me to have to defend Kendrick Lamar being the Super Bowl choice over Lil Wayne, because I love Wayne and I said it before. But Wayne, don't do that shit, bro. Like, I agree with Joe Budden. Like, you got to take that on the chin and be silent about it. And now this might have ruined your chance to even get on the stage with Kendrick Lamar. I said if Kendrick leave crumbs, take the crumbs. But now there won't be any crumbs, and we think about Drake. Right? They said he had a chance to perform at the Super Bowl 2 times and turned it down. Wayne could have had his shot. He could have had his Super Bowl moment. He could have had his Young Money moment at the halftime with Drake. But Drake turned it down twice. Big as the what? He said he's big as the Super Bowl. And now looking back at that line, it's ironic that he said big as the Super Bowl, because I feel like that was more on some braggadocious shit. Right? That was more of some things that him and only Hove would know. He's trying to nudge him. He's trying to let him know, like, I'm bigger than that. Right? And when we look at the full circle moment, he's bigger than that. But I believe him telling them no is worse than him actually performing before Kendrick Lamar and saying, I already did that. Right? I killed that. You got to do better than me. Right? But him turning it down, I don't believe, like, now it's worse, because he turned down the man that gave him the opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl, and he could have brought Nicki. He could have brought Wayne out. He could have brought Cash Money out if he wanted to, because Drake has that type of power. But he gets in a battle with Kendrick Lamar. He loses this battle, right, per the general masses. And now Kendrick gets offered to perform. And not only does he get offered to perform, but his biggest hit right now is a diss to Drake. And it's going to be performed at the Super Bowl. So it's just crazy how the universe works. And Drake's arrogance and whatever he's been doing behind the scenes, because we know about the rumors. Whatever he's been doing is coming back to bite him. You know, they say karma is real. And I believe this is a little bit of that. And I believe this is the chickens coming home to roost. But I hate to see Wayne in a vulnerable position. I hate to see Wayne powerless. I hate to see Wayne complain. Right? Because I see him as iconic. I see him as a hard worker. I see him as inspiration, as motivation. Even when the business is not right, you keep going. Even when your longtime friends, your longtime associates betray you, you keep on going and they leave you. Right? They leave you. I was the president at the same spot y'all left me at. Ain't that ironic? And now Juvie wants to come to his defense. Birdman, you did Wayne bad. It was a reason why he didn't Dropped the Carter 5 when it was supposed to be dropped. And now that's prolonged to Carter 6. And you want to complain and say Jay-Z a hating ass nigga. Cam, Mace. I believe somebody said it best when y'all didn't get invited to the Fanatics event because y'all said some disparaging things about athletes on y'all show. It wasn't because Jay-Z said y'all couldn't come, right? It's because of when y'all talk like that, y'all gotta face whatever come with it. And sometimes y'all can't be a part of those type of things because nobody wants you around because you've been throwing dirt on their name and you've been saying what you want to say. You could call it the truth. You could call it the opinion. You could call it, hey, I'm just doing my job, but it is what it is, ironically. So don't say somebody hating, man. Like he paid $14 million in taxes. Don't say somebody hating, man. He gave Baby a heads up and told him that he was talking to Wayne. Right? Don't be hating. That's not hate. Jay-Z, Hove, H-O-V, Jigga. Come on, man. Put some respect on that man name. Put some respect on Jay-Z's name at the end of the day. Because this is just a full circle moment that comes to bite Drake. And at the end of the day, not only does it bite him, it bites the whole camp and the whole organization that he's associated with. It hinders them as well, right? Because Drake lost his battle, and then on top of that, Drake had opportunities to perform with them and share that platform and stage with them, and he declined. So I feel like at the end of the day, there's really one finger to point at. There's really one person to point at, unfortunately. And I don't want it to be Drake. I feel like Drake has been getting a lot of backlash. I feel like Drake has been getting a lot of, negative energy towards him. And I like Drake as an artist. I like the music he made. I like No Face. I like what he does sometimes. Right? Even though it be superficial, even though it be party type music, even though sometimes we need to let the party die. I like what Drake do because he has a place in this culture, and the place and the role that he has in this culture, he's been playing that role very well. And sometimes the balance needs to shift because we don't need just one type of energy. We need to feel the vibrations of the whole people, right? The people as a whole. Man, and I know I'm just going on about it. Right, and the thing is, Kendrick said no round twos. Kendrick said no round twos, and this could be seen as a round two. This could be seen as a subliminal shot. But the fact that he said no round twos, you kind of got to trust his word with it, right? And that's why people surmise and assume that this is not a diss towards Drake because he said no round twos. And he put this song out kind of subbing Drake if one wanted to really think about it. So, I mean, I'll let y'all figure it out for yourself. I'll let y'all think for yourself. And shout out to BabyFace Ray. Shout out to BabyFace Ray because damn, I hated that his album is getting overlooked in all of the mess. I hated that his music is the one that is getting put on the back burner because Kendrick dropped the song, and now Lecrae dropped the song with the White Air Forces answering the Kendrick Lamar song and just doing a great job as well as a lyricist, as an MC. I didn't know he was from Compton. Now I understand why they got ties. So, like, man, that's crazy. Right? But Babyface Ray, Detroit's very own, I think he got back to his groove. I think he got back to his original sound. And sometimes it's good to try things. I think on the last project, he tried to do a little bit more up-tempo, a little bit more upbeat stuff. He called it Summertime. It was called Summertime Something, but it fell short like it was in autumn, like it was in the autumn breeze, because that really didn't work for me. And as I'm listening to Babyface Ray, as I'm listening to most of his songs, I feel like it's a certain tempo, it's a certain rhythm, it's a certain cadence that his sound, that his vocal temperature welcomes with certain production that flows well and just makes it sound good overall. And he gave us about 5 or 6 type of songs like that where it really matched his vocal intensity, even though sometimes he's a little bit lower pitched. Even sometimes he delivers more in a monotone, not really uh animated, just more just talking, right? I believe that when he gets in a certain pocket, when he gets in a certain like pattern on the beat, I think he can really like turn it up and he can really like give you his best self. And when we talk about a laid back voice like that, when we talk about a cool voice like that, sometimes it's hard to capture that essence in those up tempo beats. So when he did try to go a little bit more up tempo, a little bit higher energy, I believe the frequency of his voice, it didn't work for him in that Summertime album. But he toned down the frequency a little bit more. He toned down the BPMs a little bit more. He got a little bit slower, something to enhance his vocal ability, something to enhance how he's talking slick and just putting his wordplay together. Because I mean, to be honest, he's not a great lyricist, but like you can listen to him and say he rapping, right? He's saying something, right? And what he's saying is just really just some smooth player shit. What he's saying is really just some boss up type shit. Like he's just talking about going to get it, stacking that paper. Like you can appreciate like what he's putting out as far as substance goes. Like even if you street or even if you not too street, if you just a play ass dude, a smooth ass dude that's trying to stay out the way, boss up, get your paper up, I believe like this is something that you can relate to, right? And man, it was a lot of songs, but it flowed well. It had cohesion. It had times where it was high, times where it was low, and times where it was just smooth and balanced. So Babyface Ray, the kid that did, I believe this is an album that is great production when it comes to complementing his style and complementing his essence and vibration and frequency. I believe the production was there for him, right? Based on what he wanted to accomplish with this album. And I think he's back to being himself. And sometimes we talk about what could change could an artist make to improve their sound, but sometimes you stick to the sound, but improve your wordplay, improve your lyricism, improve your different flows, your different cadences, your different voices. You don't have to be animated, but sometimes that monotone, if you would change it up a little bit, that could give people a little bit something to look for, right? So man, salute to Babyface Ray. Salute to Kendrick Lamar. Salute to Drake and Young Money, because at the end of the day, if I'm Young Money, like I stand up for Wayne, right? If I'm Young Money, if I'm Cash Money, I'm gonna go to bat for Wayne. And so Nicki, right? She had a lot of things to say, and Nicki is very vocal, and Nicki goes from 0 to 100 real quick. She doesn't have a in the middle button. It's always 100 or nothing. If she's not saying nothing, she's not saying nothing. But if she's speaking, she's going crazy. She's going ham. And when I think about Nicki Minaj, I just love Nicki, right? Because she's so pretty, she's so beautiful. And not even just because of her facial features, just because she's bold, because she has courage. And not one time did she diss Kendrick Lamar. I believe she was very tactical about not dissing Kendrick Lamar, not putting him down. But she had some things to say about Jay-Z and some of his partnership. And a lot of people on the inside of that camp might know what other people don't. But when Nicki speaks, we're gonna listen, right? When Nicki says something, somebody's gonna pay attention. At least the women, at least the baddies. So when Nicki says something and feels strongly about a certain way, like it's time to listen. And she said she didn't get not one red penny from the percentage that she was supposedly given with Tidal. My wife loves Tidal. And at the beginning of Tidal, Jay-Z supposedly gave these artists ownership, a percentage in the company, and he sold his percentage. And they're saying they still haven't earned a red penny. So I believe that's something like that makes or should make you curious, something that you might want to look into. And when we hear black women speak, we kind of got to listen to them, because Nicki ain't nobody that's just going to get out here and get to line, right? So I trust Nicki in her words, and I appreciate the passion. I appreciate the endeavor. And it's crazy because even Drake is posting pictures of Wayne. Even Drake is pretty much saying that Wayne is the greatest and he should be the one performing. I mean, he didn't say that, but he's showing that as far as his IG pictures in the story. And I mean, but nobody came to his defense. Like Nicki coming to Wayne defense, Birdman coming to Wayne defense, Drake coming to Wayne defense, Juvie coming to Wayne defense. But if y'all all are a conglomerate and y'all all are one company, one band, one sound, where was this coming together when Drake was dealing with his issues? Where was this coming together when Drake was dealing with his beef and he needed y'all to uplift him and he needed y'all to carry him towards that finish line, when he needed y'all ear, when he needed y'all voice, when he needed y'all to come through for him? What about Yachty? Yachty didn't come through for him. What about all these niggas that Drake needed to come through for him, that kept silent, that waited on the sideline? Right? And when the coach called them, they turned their back. When the coach called them, they act like they had a torn hamstring. They act like they had a cramp. Where were you when Drake needed you? I believe it's where you were when Drake turned down the Super Bowl. It's your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, but I can't be your son, it's your kinfolk. William Jewell, giving you my detail as I'm articulating. This is articulating, right, right, right.